All right, it's time now for CURES, and today we're talking about something that so many of us suffer from: migraines.
Yes, and joining us now is Dr. Joseph Maroon to share some of the best suggestions for relief. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you so much, Kara and Jack. Good to talk to you. Good to be with you.
It's a pleasure. Can you first explain the difference between a regular headache and a migraine? Because so many people out there are like, oh my God, I got a migraine. I'm like, I don't think you have a migraine.
Well, a migraine headache is a chronic neurological disorder, actually, Scott, and it's characterized by intense headache. Usually there's a prodromal episode in which patients may feel a little fatigued or nauseous. They may have light flashes. It can be precipitated by sound, by changes in barometric pressure. It affects close to 35 million people in the United States, and many of them are undiagnosed, actually. And it's a very debilitating family, job, and work-related problem, increased by stress.
Wow, okay.
So that's one of the first things we have to do. And I want to let everyone know we're going to, you have founded, you've worked with NFL players, you have founded one of the nation's premier centers. You deal with this all the time, thousands of people. But learning our triggers is going to be super important. I've only gotten a migraine maybe once or twice a year, so thankfully I'm not a chronic sufferer. It usually happens when I go do the morning show or something, like my sleep changes, my food changes, and it seems to be that what works for me is going to sleep. But I guess we need to know our triggers.
Yeah, absolutely. And you should keep certain foods, nuts, cheeses, wine, fragrances, perfumes. There are some companies now have quiet rooms with no fragrances whatsoever in them. These are all precipitating factors that can lead to the intense headache. And they, as I said, it can last for a few hours to a day or two. So that it's very important to recognize the triggers and avoid those factors that may precipitate it, and then take immediate action when something does happen. And we can discuss that if you would like.
Absolutely. Continue.
So one of the things that you do is you give, as far as a protocol, it's not always drugs.
Yeah, that's correct. Most people early on with the onset of headaches, men more than women, they use aspirin or ibuprofen, which has its complications. It kills 15,000 people a year from gastric ulcerations. Tylenol, which is a very good drug, but it can lead to liver failure when taken in excess. There are various drugs called triptans, which affect serotonin and other mood regulators. And as a neurosurgeon, I'm always looking for the most holistic approaches to the problems with which I deal. And with migraine in particular, I found it's due to a hyperactive central nervous system. And there are a couple compounds, natural compounds, that I use initially. And the first is magnesium. Magnesium is deficient in up to 50% of patients with migraine. If you go into an ER when your headache just won't break, they'll give you IV magnesium, and also may complement that with a product called riboflavin, vitamin B2. Vitamin B2 is also an anti-inflammatory and also helps with mitochondrial energy production. And then a third is feverfew, a plant-derived molecule that in studies has shown to reduce the recurrence of migraine in severity by up to 75%. So these combinations of magnesium, riboflavin, and feverfew are all products that I start with. Then there are expensive new antibody drugs called calcitonin gene-related peptide antagonists, a mouthful, that block the agents in the blood vessels that cause the dilatation or dilation and help to mitigate the headache. These are quite expensive. They tend to, with time, not be as effective. So again, the natural approaches: diet, exercise, and also magnesium, riboflavin, and feverfew.
Doctor, thank you so much. I know that this is a big topic, and in fact, a lot of people in the newsroom suffer from migraines, maybe because a lot of them probably also suffer from stress and anxiety. But we're going to talk more about it on CURES. We're going to be able to take a deeper dive. I want to drive everyone to, you have a lot of information on Joseph Maroon, Maroon.com. So thank you for sharing some time, and we'll take a deeper dive on the CURES show.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.